Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. If this is your first time, welcome once again. Please do me a favor, like and subscribe to my channel. Smash that notification bell so that you can stay updated anytime I post up a new video. So yes, this is my weekly Sunday analysis. It's a brand new week. It's a brand new month. Totally excited. The month of November, guys, we have about 60 more days or so to the end of the year. I hope you guys have had a fantastic trading year. If not, we still have 2 more months to make that up. So what we do during my weekly analysis is just basically look at different um, pairs and from a technical perspective and kind of give an idea of where I think the market is going to go. So here on the gold chart, as always, I like to start with gold. It's one of my favorite pairs or assets to trade. So you all know what's happened to gold last week. We saw quite a bit of volatility, which is standard. Um, but as you can see on the weekly time frame, gold closed the market the week on a bearish move. So we had actually been climbing up the previous 2 days before it closed bearish. You can see that like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The last week were generally bullish on gold, but then towards the end of the week we began to see gold taper out, and then finally on Friday it closed pretty low. If I look at my lower time frame, maybe I look at my 1 hour, we can see the activity a bit more glaringly. So we can see that on Friday gold just tanked a couple of pips, and if you were fortunate enough to be on the right side of the market, you bagged about 264 pips, which is amazing. Okay, so we could see that the market had actually been on a bullish move to the upside, and then last week, at the beginning of last week, it began to taper out, and we began to see this move. It was kind of like the end of this bullish move up, and then we began to see the price now shift lower. And what we see here on the 1 hour is like gold simply took out liquidity on the lower levels of 1783, and is in as much as we close bearish on the 1 hour, we can see that we are beginning to kind of retest the previous 1783 level. So my take really is that I still think gold is going to continue downwards. Okay, let me just go back on the weekly. I actually think we'll probably see gold possibly continue to push lower. I mean, that's really what I'm thinking, because I feel like it had a chance to kind of really have a nice rally. But then we see some, resistance at the levels of 1800. It attempted twice to break the 1800 level, 18, maybe let's say to be, yeah, the 1802, 1800, 1802, 1806 level. But, for the past 2 weeks, we are seeing that this is a strong rejection zone, and generally we've been bearish on a much longer time frame since August, and we are seeing that that momentum or that directional bias is being maintained. And my take is there's a possibility that we will continue to shift lower. So I'm kind of anticipating gold to actually shift lower because there's loads of liquidity downside. um, we can see our daily time frame also closed bearish, and we see a nice bearish engulfing candle. Yes, there's a bit of a rejection on this close of the day, but I feel like we may continue to just see that downward push, let's say to the 1745 levels. I think that's what I'm anticipating. Let me look at the 8 hour. So now on the lower time frame, you can see now a bit of the rejection downside, meaning that it came reached a certain level here and began to push up, you know. But I'm still not convinced as yet that we will push up. I still feel there's a lot more room to go lower. But obviously, we want to look at this when the market opens again and see what happens. But generally, I am bearish. And this week also, we have NFP happening, non-farm payroll. This is when the employment numbers come out from the US. Very, very interesting week it's going to be. I can assure you there's going to be a lot of volatility. So I'll just suggest you be careful in the market. Yeah, so that's gold, guys. My bias is bearish right now on market open. So I'll be looking to see what happens, you know, but right now I'm still bearish. So let's look at what? Let's look at GBP pair, so GBP USD. So GU, so it looks like USD pairs kind of tanked last week. Okay, we can see this really major rejection here, and you know, and I feel like, yeah, GU is looking bearish on the weekly, looking bearish on the daily as well. Okay, there's some room for it to keep on pushing low. We may see some rejection off of that, so we may see maybe a move like we may see a move like, you know, may push lower, okay, and then push up, and then push down again. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing right now. Sorry. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, although we can see that we did take out liquidity here, so it's very possible that we may even just continue to push up, okay, and take out previous highs here. So that being said, so basically that's what it looks like here. So yeah, so there's a possibility that we may reject off of this zone and continue down, or we may, you know, shift lower and then push up, because I feel like these levels here were taken out, this level here was taken out, and this could just be, you know, a shift to the upside. So technically, when I look at this now, I may be looking at potential for you know, rejection and push up to the upside, a continuation, so to speak, of GU to the upside, despite this rejection here. Let me look at GBP JPY. Let me look at another GBP pair. Yen pair. So GBP JPY, okay, this is on the daily. We rallied here to the upside and then began to taper out, and there is room for GJ to drop, but then if I look at this rally to the top, I'm like, okay, there's a shallow retracement, which may signify a strong continuation. But let me look at the higher time frame. So we are seeing this rally to the upside. Okay, we've broken structure up here. Broken structure up here. We broke some equal highs up here and shifted up, but then when you go to this zone here, we are beginning to see a bit of a rejection. I'm still bullish on GJ. I think I was bullish on GJ last week as well. So I think we may continue. We may push lower and then push up. Okay. and then push up. That's really what I'm anticipating. I wouldn't be surprised if, we saw that kind of a move. So bullish on GJ, bullish on GU. Let me look at US 30. US 30 is just, at an all-time high. It's just been rallying. Now, we may see this rally take off. Like I said, it's NFP this week. Depending on the employment numbers and everything, there might be a shift in this push to the upside. But let me look at a lower time frame, daily. So yes, we rallied, we retested this area break of structure that we see here. And we're just looking very, very bullish, guys. Very, very bullish. In as much we may actually maybe even shift lower, but right now, as we speak, I feel like US 30 just wants to continue climbing and take out the previous high here that happened on the 26th. Okay, 35,916 level, 35,909 level. So maybe we'll take that out and then possibly begin to shift lower. But right now, US 30 is just looking bullish as well. Let me look at AUD USD. So what you're seeing on AUD USD is interesting. So you took out previous highs here, and we are now beginning to look like we're shifting lower. That's a 4-hour. Let me look at the weekly. The weekly time frame is looking bullish. We did close bullish. We may shift up a bit and then see a rejection. We may open bullish, but then see the rejection happen there. So I'm like, okay, this is what I'm looking at in terms of the move structure wise. And this may be followed then by a push up. Yeah. So we may push up, reject, take out liquidity below here, and then begin to continue on the upside. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for AUD, JPY, AUD, USD, AUD, JPY, now that I mentioned JPY. Looking similar. We have previous levels up here that are interesting. So we may continue pushing up, and what may happen is we push up and then we push down, and then we continue to the upside. Again, looking just like AUD, USD. Let me look at a Euro pair, Euro AUD. Yeah, looking very bearish. Looking very bearish, very, very bearish. And why I say that is because we are seeing for the last couple of weeks, EA has been dropping. It's now back at an area of liquidity. And, we retested this level a couple of times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th time. So I'm anticipating that we may just break structure there. That's really what I would be anticipating. This is a very bearish candle. Look at the daily. Yeah, this is what we're seeing. I mean, Euro AUD is looking bearish, guys. Just based on the higher time frames, okay, we've really been consistent. We broke structure here. And now we've really been consistent in maintaining the momentum down. So even if we do retest, we probably retest and continue lower. Okay, so probably do something like that. So I'm still bearish on Euro AUD. I think last week I was also bearish on Euro AUD. So let's look at Euro JPY. Okay. Euro JPY has been climbing for a couple of maybe a couple 2 weeks, and then for the last 2 weeks it began to drop. So what we are seeing is we had a long, nice rally with a bit of a retracement here, And then finally, we did the big retracement here and then consolidated for a while and then just broke out of structure up here on the weekly. Okay, so there's a kind of a break of structure here. And what I'm seeing is we are still continuing downside. We likely will continue downside on the weekly time frame. So that's what I would be expecting. Like we may rally down and then continue to the upside, but I'm anticipating the market will open bearish. Okay. I am anticipating a bearish open before maybe we continue to the upside. Okay. EuroCAD similarly looking bearish unless something changes. You know, we're seeing like a drop base pattern there, and you know, we have an interesting zone here. Okay, I feel like we may just drop through these potential zones below here that price may want to retest. Okay, so equally looking bearish on EuroCAD. Let me look at a CAD, another CAD pair, CAD JPY, looking bullish, took our previous highs, still looking like, you know, we want to kind of scale these highs here, take them out and then continue down. So I feel like we are definitely looking like we want to push up. We may see a reversal, but I still feel like there'll be a continuation downside and upside. So we may pull back a bit and then push up as CAD JPY. So guys, I just want to keep this short. Okay. CAD has been ranging, but now I feel like, you know, we retraced here quite some and then we broke structure, retraced, and I feel like, yes, we are continuing upside. So that being said, guys, I hope this analysis has been helpful. I'm just keeping it short and sweet. And maybe later in the week during NFP, maybe tomorrow, I'll do a much more in-depth analysis on some of these pairs. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, enjoy your day and have a fantastic and profitable trading ahead.